1,000 people in like under a minute. Oh, people like their sheep genocide, or people really hate whales. One of those two things. I hope it's the genocide myself. Hey, hello friend, how is life going for you? It's been going really well lately, man. I'm in a good place right now. Still trying to work out a lot of life, you know. I'm living back in Ireland again. Moved back in with the family. I don't know. I don't know how long I'll be here. I kind of know what I'm like, where I like keeping on the move, and I kind of like having my own space. But I'm doing good mentally, you know. I'm in good spirits. Do you want to finish sorcery? Yes, I do. Sorcery is like, I have like a whiteboard where I write up like the current things I want to play, and like current things I want to finish, and like sorcery has been on that for like months. It's always been a case of finding the time. Because we did this whole thing for Pokemon, it kind of took the spotlight as well. Because originally what the plan was, I was going to finish Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then I was going to do sorcery. But we started doing this massive shiny hunting quest, so it kind of just kept getting pushed back. And it's more or less still the plan, and like that's how I'm going to do it. So like once we finish Pokemon, we're doing sorcery. Like that's the next thing. Friday, thanks for the 155 bits. Any tips for dealing with stress? I've got big boy exams soon. I mean, you gotta do something to take your mind off life. You know, like, don't forsake your hobbies even if you're going into exam season. I think that's one of the worst things you can do. Like, make sure that, like, you know, you spend time with your friends and that. Like, especially if your friends are also doing your exams. Like, or like, you're in your class or something. Because they're going through the same stress. And you can fucking just relax and unwind and like kind of joke about life with each other. Because too often when people are stressed, they focus solely on the cause of stress until that cause of stress is resolved, thereby making the stress even more stressful. There's a great video by a YouTuber called Exerbia, it's called A Guide to Worrying, and it's a satirical video. And the first thing he says is, the most important thing to do when you're worried about something is to think about it constantly. And it's so true, because it's kind of like what we do. It is like when something is bothering us, like we agonize over it. You need to just kind of maintain life balance, basically. For my own stress, what I do when I'm stressed is I play video games, I watch films, I meet up with my friends. And you know, I stream too when I'm stressed. I kind of have like a added perk, I guess, in life, because, you know, I genuinely love my career and like my job. So like doing this helps me unwind. ART, what made you choose the song Country Roads as a disaster song rather than any other more suited for the task? So Country Roads at the time, I already associate the song with Country Roads with disaster from Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I'm not going to try and spoil that film, but Country Roads actually does play in that film. And it's a very powerful moment. So I already associated it with disaster from that. Fallout 76 comes along, Country Roads plays, it's a bopping cover, and, you know, bombs are going off, everyone's dying. It's like, okay, song is being more associated with disaster, and there's a sense of impending doom. And so when it came to City Skylines, it kind of just was a natural fit. When it came to destroying the city. Someone suggested it as a joke, just for something inappropriate. Up until that point, we'd actually been using Country Roads as sort of like an inspiring song, which is weird. It was like a song of hope, or like quiet resignment. Like the first time it shows up on the channel, I believe, is when we were playing Dark Souls, the very remaestro edition one, where like we had like the weird like kind of text-to-speech mods and the randomizer, and like it plays on that for the first time. And it gets us through like a really tricky bit where we were just struggling for like an hour. So it was kind of like a weird song of hope for some reason. Like it was a bit inspiring, but it was associated with the channel. And then when we moved to cities, it just became the anthem of disaster, basically. You know, I largely impart credit Fallout for that. The guys at Bethesda seem to know as well, which is a funny little thing. That song is associated with disaster in part with my channel. If you look at the comments section of the Fallout 76 cover, the only comment that is hearted in that entire description is mine. And I literally just typed almost heaven. It's got 50,000 likes and like a heart from someone who works at Bethesda. So they know that that's associated with my channel now as well, which is kind of sweet in of itself. It's just a shame the game that cover released with was the ultimate disaster in the end. Can you do a face reveal? I've done like 7, and my face is already in several videos on the channel. It's literally like I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, see the Just Dad streams, see the Ring Fit streams, see some of the old fucking TF2 videos. I've done it. Look on my Twitter, look on my Instagram. It's not a mystery. Can we leave this joke behind in 2019 that I haven't revealed my face, please? It's because it's actually fucking everywhere. Literally just Google search it. You will find what I look like. I was in an arcade in Dublin last night, out with a friend of mine. We met up for sushi, had an amazing time. Someone recognized us in the arcade. It was fucking hilarious. It's out there. You gotta stop this. And like, people are still shocked every time I show my face. I like, there's always one horrible bastard who's like, "What a long face, RT." It's like, just fuck off. Like, maybe have an annual face reveal. I think it's just because I never had a video that says, "Oh my god, it's the face reveal." Because who the fuck cares? Currently in agony trying to shiny out Giratina in Pearl. Best of luck with the Wooloo hunt. By the way, what's your favorite video game you have streamed? I mean, honestly, I think my best stream has been Wii Sports Resort. I think that still holds the spot. You know, watching paint dry is now a close contender. But Wii Sports Resort is like properly the best game I think I've streamed. That stream was just perfect. Like, everything went right. Honestly, it's kind of weird though that watching paint dry is probably like one of the better streams I've done though, because of just like real talk. Like, as someone who prides themselves on like being an entertainer for a living, the fact that for myself I was able to put on a bit of a show, fucking watching paint dry, is like that's something I'm gonna put on my CV. That I was able to pull that off. Like, I'm actually quite proud of that stream now, because you know, it actually is hard to make that entertaining, because it is just watching paint dry. It literally is a joke in of itself. But I think most of the people who came here to this stream actually had a very good time and like quite thoroughly enjoyed that one, which is mad. So like that actually is one of the best streams I've ever done now. Ganda gives 100 bits and asks, when are we getting the Japan vlogs? God almighty. The Japan vlogs I don't think are happening at this point, because that was so long ago now. But I do plan on going back to Japan. And I'm going to be setting up a proper travel channel in future too, where I do upload vlogs of me traveling. So, because the main reason they didn't happen in the end is because there was plans for me before, like, early 2018 to both branch out to variety content and make travel vlogs of my time in Japan. But the channel exploded to such a ludicrous degree just on the video game front that it never felt like there was an appropriate time to upload the travel vlogs, because, you know, things were just exploding and like moving very quickly. And I didn't want to just like upload a bunch of like IRL Japan stuff mixed in with just video game highlights, because I felt like it was like 2 different formats. And I wanted to keep it to being one. And, you know, name of the channel is RTGame. I want to keep it to RTGame. So what I'm going to do in future is I'm just going to set up a second channel. And that's going to just have vlogs. Phantom, thanks for 100 bits. Has your want for variety on the channel ironically enough killed your drive to play certain games? No, I don't think that's true at all, Phantom. Like, I notice it sometimes, like, I worry about spending too much time on a certain game. But more often than not, it's like there's just another game that catches my interest more. And I'm getting much better at spending time on games I want to sink a lot of time into now as well. Like, you know, I'm like, this is like our 7th day of doing just like shiny hunting for Wooloo. And, you know, I'm fine with that. If anything, the problem now is there's so many things I want to do that it's impossible to basically do everything. So I gotta pick and choose a little bit, which breaks my heart. Because if it was me, we'd have a playthrough of pretty much everything. Any games you're looking forward to in 2020? Trashcan, thanks for the 200 bits. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Okay, that's the big one. That's the main game I need. I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk. I'm looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII remaster. I think those are both going to be really good. I'm looking forward to Persona 5 Royal. But Animal Crossing. Jex, thanks for 500 bits. The idea of having a travel vlog channel is interesting, since last night a friend and I were discussing what we thought YouTubers would do after their niche lost popularity. Like the idea of you streaming games for 30 plus years seems odd to me. Do you think you'd go back to teaching or see if the travel vlogging became your new thing? I guess it's an odd thing to think about. I mean, Jax, I'm not really thinking that far ahead, honestly, because like there is other stuff I want to do too. You know, I want to do a travel channel. I want to start a podcast this year. You know, for all I know, not saying it will go this way, I could just realize this year it's like I fucking love podcasting and I'm gonna put my focus on that, and that could very well happen. I doubt it will, because I also love doing this. You know, I kind of want to keep them both up. But you don't know what the future holds. Could be a case where like gaming on YouTube just goes to shit because people decide to copyright strike everything you do. You know, that's always kind of a threat. And YouTube's very iffy about like kind of uploading games to YouTube as is. Like they have a love-hate relationship with it. So it could all be gone tomorrow. But you know, I'm just gonna do what makes me happy, and we'll see how the future goes. Like, if I'm still doing this in 10 years, honestly, I think I'd be happy with that. You know, like, as far as jobs go, like, you know, playing video games you love and talking to a community that you love speaking to, it is pretty sweet feeling. I cannot complain too much. I'm incredibly privileged with my circumstances to be able to do this for a career, because I know this is something that a lot of people dream to do, and you know, not everyone makes it. You know, I didn't think I'd ever make it. There's many times I thought I'd have to quit, but I'm still here. How was the Yogscast? I absolutely loved being there. It's a bit weird to talk about it, right? Because this sounds kind of sad. But something that does happen sometimes with YouTube is it can be a little isolating, because you know, I'm living at home right now. I stream and I edit videos, and my office, my work environment is literally right next to my bed. So like there's a lot of days where like I'll just get up and I'm at my computer, I edit, then it's time for the stream, I finish the stream, it's like 10 o'clock at night, it's like, okay, I gotta go to bed soon. And you feel a little disconnected. Now, most of my friends I keep in touch with online and that, so you know, I'm never that lonely. But actually being in Bristol was so nice, because when I would have a break, like say if it's lunch or something, I would just hop out of my office and everyone is just there. And I'd just be like, hey, like, do you guys want to get like a sandwich or something? And it's like, sure. And we have like a little gang of 3 or 4. We all talk about our day. You know, it's like actual human contact. And I fucking love that. No joke, like, I'm seriously considering moving to Bristol right now, just to have that experience like more often. Because you know, I've got so many wonderful friends over there, and there's so many wonderful people that are over there, and it's just so nice. It reminded me of like being back in university and times like that, where you know, I just finished class and it's like, hey, do you want to meet up for lunch? Do you want to play some games? It's just really nice. But yeah, it was fucking phenomenal being there. Like Jingle Jam's been my favorite time of year for the past 2 years. We'll lure people too. Yeah, but we're killing them, so I don't know. Hey RT, considering your love for English, have you ever been interested in writing a book? And if so, what on? I actually wrote a book back in the day. It's never going to be published, and it was very much a personal project. But it was science fiction, and it clocked in at like 82,000 words. The premise, like basic idea, was time was an energy, basically, that accounted for other forms of energy, and it was about the abuse of power and kind of like politics surrounding that. I actually do like writing, and it is kind of the reason that I took up English at the end for university, because the plan was always to write a book, and I still actually want to do that someday. I have a different project that I'm working on currently, but it's just writing for fun. Like, I don't know if anything will come of it. But I am very much an English nerd, actually, and I wholeheartedly encourage like creative writing. If you have some sort of like environment for that, be it in like your school or your university, go for it. It's so much fun. Honest to God. Publish it. No, I'm not. No, like that one that's written, that's never seen the light of day. That was a personal project. But you know, if like, one of my dreams since I've ever been a kid has actually been to publish a book. And you know, even with YouTube kind of taking the spotlight in my life, like especially the past 2 years, I still want to get back to that point. because that is still one of my big dreams for life, is I would love to be able to just have a printed book and say, I made this. Zip, thanks for 100 bits. I'm excited to see you play Fable 2. When I was 8, I played it every Saturday for 7 hours straight for like a year. Good times. Dude, like, the thing is for Fable 2, and part of the reason I'm so excited to play it, I've never actually owned the game, because I never had an Xbox 360. See, I used to play, me and Stuart used to play all the time at his house, because he had an Xbox 360. And we would have a bunch of sleepovers and kind of like late nights where we would just play the entire game. And like some of my best memories from it is like being up at like 2 AM and trying to solve like some of the puzzles in the DLC. Because there's like some really cryptic things in that. It's a fantastic game. So I'm actually really excited to play it on the channel because it will be my first time playing it solo all the way through. I've played it many times with Stuart where we take turns, but this will be my first time doing it myself. And I don't believe I've seen all the content in the game either. Purple, thanks for 10 quid. When you were in Japan, where did you go to teach English? I have an interview to go do that at the embassy tomorrow. So the funny story is I never ended up teaching English in Japan because I was supposed to. And there was a point where I had an interview lined up, but the week I had the interview is when YouTube exploded. And I ended up skipping my interview because it got to the point on YouTube, and I remember it very clearly, where it's like just as like videos were like exploding and taken off. I remember kind of like looking at the analytics for YouTube, and it had worked out that it's like I'd made 100 quid in a day. And it's like when you get to like a level of like income that much, it's like, why the fuck am I considering teaching? When like I could be doing something that like I have a lot more passion for instead. And I decided, fuck it, you know, let's do this instead. Because it basically worked out that like, I would have made the same amount of income if I was teaching as doing YouTube. So what's the point in teaching if I can do this? So I never actually like taught English in Japan. I'm qualified to. I did my TEFL. I have my certificate. But it never actually happened, which is kind of funny. Up until that point, I basically made it by just like kind of doing like kind of streaming and that. It just kind of like, it got to the point where it's like, okay, now I kind of have to start teaching and that because, you know, food is a thing you need to be able to afford. And then I switched to variety content and I kind of lucked out. You know, and like the rest is like, the rest you've seen. You know, my life has like changed dramatically since that point and I've never been happier. Will you ever stream virtual reality? And if you do, what will you stream on VR? Yeah, so I do actually plan on doing more VR stuff. I was going to do more VR stuff before I realized I was leaving the UK so soon, which I didn't originally plan to. So I had a good setup space for that. Unfortunately, with my current living arrangements, it's kind of hard to do VR because there's just not a lot of room to move about and I'd be worried I'd knock into stuff. But I do plan on doing more VR stuff. I really want to stream Beat Saber. I think that would be hilarious. And you know, I say I haven't got much space, but I'm still planning to do more Just Dance stuff. I think it's just because like VR, you know, you gotta have like a proper room or like space for it, because like, you can actually hurt yourself otherwise. Do VR chat, I dare you. I know my friend Monty is actually, she actually does a lot of VR chat, and we were actually thinking about doing something together at some point. She has a fucking amazing singing voice as well. Like she does like little live concerts in that game. And like they're honestly incredible. Like the last few nights this week, I've literally just been watching her streams and just kind of like chilling. Like she just sings for like the audience there. Isla Monty, if people do not follow her, she's a good friend. She's also works as a voice actor, and you may know her as Mustache Girl from A Hat in Time. You should make a high RT shirt. Probably not making a high RT shirt, but like on the merch front this year, there will actually be quite a bit more merch because like people have always expressed interest in it, and I've been a bit shite when it comes to merch, I think, because I haven't properly promoted it in previous years, and like we've kind of done like waves where it's like a bunch of stuff comes out and then it's just silence. This year, like the goal is more or less like every month or so there is something. You know, thank you to the people who actually buy it too, because you know it actually does support me like quite significantly. You know, and that is very much appreciated. Would you ever do non-electronic games on stream? I mean, I do Lego streams. That's kind of like a bit of a different thing we've done. I do have more Lego sets too. I want to get back to that as well. My friends actually for Christmas got me a beautiful like Hogwarts Great Hall Lego set that I really want to put together on stream. It's only about 1,000 pieces too, so like we might be able to do it in like kind of like a 4-hour stream or something, where it's not like monstrously long, and like it looks gorgeous. Chris, thanks for 10 quid. Hey RT, you've been tuning in every once in a while, but your Welsh genocide streams always make my day a little better, as they help keep me sane while I attempt to catch one for myself. RT feet reveal 2020. No, stop that shite. People get real fucking weird about feet on the internet. I gotta be real careful never to show that. What books do you like, RT? I'm a big fan of postmodern works. You know, I studied English like for 4 years at uni. Some of my favorite books include House of Leaves, Borges, like kind of Labyrinths, a collection of short stories, Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon. I wrote my thesis on that book. I absolutely love it. The Crying of Lot 49. Some other books that I love include like Catcher in the Rye. That is my favorite book. I'm a big fan of James Joyce, you know, legendary Irish writer. There's a book I really love that I actually, so this is like a less of a challenging book, I would say, that I would recommend to everyone, that I think is fucking great. It's by the writer of the XKCD webcomic, and it's called What If? It's basically absurd hypothetical questions with ground scientific answers, and it's fucking great because it's just like a stupid question like, what happens if we all jump on the planet at once, with like the actual scientific explanation as to what would happen in this ludicrous scenario. And it's a really good book. Like, I'd recommend it to anyone. It's got a bunch of like kind of exclusive comics in it too that the XKCD guy has actually done. Yeah, it's an absolute joy to read. As a good one too for people who aren't like typically into books too. It's very accessible and it's just quite entertaining. It's not enough funny books these days, and that very much is one. Randall Munro, that's the guy's name. He's XKCD guy, basically. I think more people know him as that. He has another one called How To, does he? Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Thanks for mentioning that. I'm gonna have a look at that later. Jax, thanks for another 100. Thank you for your answer earlier about future plans. I'd love to be watching you in 10 years. Also, I used to think you were bald with glasses because I didn't know who Harry Hill was. Oh god, you didn't think the Harry Hill emote was me, did you? Well, I mean, I'm flattered that you think I look like God himself. But no, I am not Matthew Keith Hall. It's probably fanfiction about you now, RT. Read on stream when. I'm good, because that sounds absolutely cursed. And I like being able to sleep soundly at night. I thought that too. We still, there was a bit of a revival where the Harry Hill like emote spam whenever someone subs, but I think we fell out of practice. There was a time where whenever someone subscribed, people would use the Harry Hill emote, and the idea would be you're welcome to Blackpool. The dream is still someday to record a video where I literally just meet up with Harry Hill and we get like a bag of fish and chips. And like we just like kind of chat and it's like an interview. Just in like Blackpool Pier or something. I don't know how to get in contact with the man. I don't know where his agent is, but I think that would be a really fun one to do. Randy? Hello, thank you for 100 bits. Hey RT, I just woke up from a nap on a 12-hour flight to me and my now wife's honeymoon. We decided to watch a movie and ended up on this stream. The wedding yesterday was amazing, by the way. You guys are fucking married now. How you doing? I hope the flight was okay. I'm glad you fucked off in the end to actually walk up the aisle. Wedding update. No, but seriously, congrats to the pair of you. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Hope you have a lovely honeymoon.